Welcome to John Gets Games, where today I'll be introducing you to Ice. In this video, I'll be giving you a brief idea about how this game plays, and if you'd like to learn more, you can watch the tutorial video that I made where I teach all of the rules while the game is being played. You can find a link to that tutorial in the description of this video. Now, Ice is a 1 to 5 player game that takes between 60 and 120 minutes to play, and in this game, each player is in control of an exploration guild, and they are going to be digging into the ice sheet on the middle of the board. Now, this is made up of a bunch of hexagonal tiles, and underneath the first set of tiles, there is another, and then another under that, and in fact, it goes down 5 layers of hexagonal tiles. And on players' turns, they are going to be spending action points in order to explore around the terrain. They can bring neutral archaeologists with them, and they can also excavate, which will let them remove tiles where their expedition leader currently is. Now, there is a cost for excavating, and you get discounts based off of the number of figures on that spot, which is the main reason you're going to be moving these archaeologists around with you. Now, the tiles that you take will either give you one-shot abilities on the back if they are from the top level, or if they are below that, then they will have artifacts on them. Players are going to put these artifacts onto their guild board, and when you have a certain number or type of these specific artifacts, that will unlock specific abilities for those artifacts, and these can do a variety of things like increase the number of actions that you can take within a given turn, also give you new action options, as well as give you more ways to collect these tiles from the board. Now, players are also going to be spending these artifacts at the end of each day in order to enable various request cards. These cards will give players a conditional amount of prestige points at the end of the game based on what the card says, and you have to spend these artifacts, which means you might not have them available to give you those special abilities. Now, this is one of the main ways you are going to get prestige points at the end of the game, so you have to weigh removing these artifacts along with keeping them for those abilities. And once the game is over, players will also get prestige based on how they met up with a variety of decree cards, which are going to be different each time the game is played, and they will definitely change how you play one game to the next, considering they will incentivize certain behavior and certain artifacts over others, depending on the cards that come out. Now, as players are digging down, they are going to keep going until 8 days have happened, or until the bottommost layer has had a single tile fully excavated, and players are simply moving around using archaeologists, taking them away from areas with other leaders, trying to get as many of these artifacts as they can to get those special abilities and the prestige points once the game is over. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this introduction, you can learn a lot more about this game by watching the tutorial video that I made where I teach each of these things as it's being played, and you can find a link to that in the description of this video.